Some people think your success is measured by the amount of intelligence you have. Life has taught me it's not about that. It's about working hard towards your goal, never quitting until you get there. Don't stop till you get there. Let's pass. Hello, I'm Fernando Cardona. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today I have a very special guest. We're accompanied by Mr. Pèrez. He is a recruiter, but he's going to talk to us about another MOS he used to have that was a drill sergeant. And I thought that was going to be very, very interesting. At least I found it interesting, and maybe you'll find it interesting. So it would help a lot if you leave a like and share it to your social media. You never know who will see this video and whose life it could impact in a positive way. Hello, hope you're having a great day. Mr. Pèrez, thank you for accompanying us.
Thank you for having me.
Great, great. So I hope you're having a great day. How long have you been in the military?
Yes, I've been in the military for 10 years and a half.
10 years and a half. Okay, that's great. And how long are you planning to serve?
20 years and plus.
Okay, that's great. That's great. That's great. Did you always want to be the 20 years, or you thought maybe I'll be 6, 7, 8 years?
So I didn't have a plan. When I joined, I just did it. But then as I started doing everything in the Army, and being a drill sergeant was one of those things that helped me out, I decided that this is what I want to be for my next 20 years plus.
It's funny because when I was a teacher in the Department of Education, I used to hate my job, and I wanted to finish. I was counting the days to finish because it was a very stressful job. Now I help people pass the ASVAB, and I tell my wife I'm already retired. This is my retirement. I love it. Obviously, maybe when I'm older, I'll find a way to do it in a lower amount and still have success. But when you like what you're doing, you kind of want to do it forever, and that's a blessing. That's a blessing. So your current MOS, your current MOS is a recruiter. And can you talk to us? What is your primary MOS?
So my primary MOS when I joined was 12 November, which is horizontal construction engineer. And then that's what I did for my first 5 years, and then I became a drill sergeant.
Okay, okay. And why did you change, or why did you choose to become a drill sergeant?
Well, I always wanted to be a drill sergeant since I was in basic training. But the thing that made me make that final decision was when I went to my leadership school to get promoted to sergeant. One of my instructors told me that I had the potential to be a drill sergeant. So after that, I graduated that school and I went straight to the drill sergeant unit, reserve drill sergeant unit here in Puerto Rico. And I went for a orientation, and then I got in.
How many years were you a drill sergeant for, or active? 2 years. 2 years.
Yep.
And about how many basic trainings did you have in those 2 years? Were it like 3, 2, 4?
I did my last year. I did active duty. I was in orders as a drill sergeant for a whole year. And then the first year I did one basic training as a reservist.
So it was 1 year as a reservist, and then the other one was a lot more.
Yes.
And what kind of education or classes did you take to become a drill sergeant?
Well, to become a drill sergeant, there's a couple things you need. Like you need 100 GT score, and you're gonna have to qualify for a secret clearance, and you need to be physically fit. And then you go to a drill sergeant school, which is about 2 months, just like basic training all over again, but from the perspective as a drill sergeant.
So that training was for 2 months, right?
Yes.
And of what you learned in your basic, how similar or how easy was it to adapt to being the drill sergeant?
For me, it was pretty easy, the adaptation, but doing it was pretty hard because of the hours and all that. But it is challenging, but for me, that's all I wanted to do. So because I wanted it and I love what I was doing, it came easy.
Okay, that's good. What is your primary objective or main responsibility as a drill sergeant?
To teach civilians and turn them from civilians to soldiers, take care of them, mentorship, coaching, teaching, all of it.
And what type of ability or responsibility what attributes do you have to be successful as a drill sergeant?
You need to have physical fitness and a lot of mental health, stamina, endurance. You're gonna have, if you're active duty, you're gonna be doing it for 2 years without plenty of rest. So you will not have that much rest. So you have to be strong mentally and physically.
And what is a typical day for a drill sergeant?
So a typical day, I used to wake up around 3 to 3:30 in the morning, go to the barracks where the soldiers were. We were there when they wake up. We go do PT. After PT, then we all go do hygiene, which is we shave, take showers, get dressed. Then we go eat breakfast. Then we go do the training. We do lunch. We do more training. Then we do dinner. And then at the end of the day, we have a little more training, 1 hour of personal time for them, and then that's lights out. Then we go home.
It's a little bit it's very draining on how you're explaining it. So it's a like an 18-hour, 20-hour day, basically
Yes.
working at 3:30 a.m. And it's a like sometimes they say don't overtrain because of fatigue. You know, you like my mother would say, "Hey, you're running too much. You're gonna hurt yourself." But you guys basically trained every day, right? And
Every day.
in basic training, it's not like well, Sundays are off, right? Sundays
Yeah,
are
some Sundays are off, but there's always have to be one drill sergeant there. So sometimes we take turns. But for that part, for the fatigue part, so we train with them, but a lot of drill sergeants also train before they get there, and we do like weights. We do it before or after, because we don't do weights with the soldiers. And so a lot of drill sergeants, I saw it happening when they were even taking extra time to do extra workouts.
oh wow, this is some David Goggins type of stuff.
Yeah.
No, every time I took on running since December, and anytime I wanted to run or get motivated, I would just pop a YouTube video of David Goggins. He's like, yeah. But you're reminding me of. I'm talking to you about that. I'm just picturing him like before that. So, did you also do that? Did you hit the weights before sometimes?
I did it a couple times, but it took a toll on me. So
What did you like most about being a drill sergeant?
well, the experience of being a teacher, a coach. I like going to graduation, seeing them with their parents, wanting them to take picture with us, and like those moments. A lot of soldiers, they don't. Some of them don't have father figures, and they see us as father figures. So it's an emotional situation also, but I love teaching and seeing them like happy and having a future, seeing them after years in the army and being like, hey, that was my drill sergeant. And like I'm proud of my job and I love it. I wouldn't change it.
That's a great to hear. That's great to hear. And now the counterpart to that question: what did you least enjoy about being a drill sergeant?
Definitely the hours, not being able to spend that much time with family.
So you were telling me before that normally you would do a boot camp, 2 months, and then you'd rest for 1 or 2 weeks, and
Right.
so it's intense during the boot camp. And can you talk a little bit about that other 1 or 2 weeks off while you had another group coming in?
Yes, so that week or two we're resting, preparing for the next cycle, and just getting that energy back. We count the supply, make sure we have everything. We have a list of the next basic training. So that's time for us to prepare. We say which drill sergeant is going to be in charge of which part on the schedule, and that's it pretty much.
And the hours during that time, what's the schedule for those 1 or 2 weeks?
So there is from like 8, 9 a.m. to 3, 5 p.m.
Okay. And do you guys have everything that's gonna be already given to them organized, or do you invent a few things?
No, so for them, they already have everything. They get everything in reception. So reception is like their first week. They get everything there. So when they come to the barracks for when we drill sergeants see them the first time, they already have everything in their bags. So everything that we give to them it's all organized as far as training wise.
And in the movies, sometimes you see these old movies that they call them maggots and they shout in their faces. How real is this?
So it's not real anymore. Was it real? Yes. I've seen soldiers that were like 20 years back. They joined in the 90s, late 80s. And they told me that just like the movie, that's how it is. But now it's not, because the Army adapts and the Army is changing to our new generation. So there's a lot that we as drill sergeant we cannot do. We cannot insult. We cannot call names. We cannot touch the soldier unless it's a safety violation. And now we don't even do the shark attack, which is the famous old drill sergeant yelling at everybody when they got out of the bus. Like, not even that.
I've seen videos of that.
Yeah.
So what is there? I have a curiosity. How can the Army ensure that you guys are following protocol? Is it there like other drill sergeants are accountable to see that everything's held correctly? Or if, let's say, somebody has one of those boundaries violated, he tells somebody, how does that kind of work?
Well, we as drill sergeant, we keep each other in check. Also, we have officers and NCOs all over the base, just going around, making sure they don't see any violation. Like the smoking session, we cannot smoke everybody like we used to. Do push-up for 2 hours, none of that is allowed. So if someone sees that from the outside, then they're gonna get our attention, and then we're gonna get in trouble as drill sergeant.
Wow, 2 hour push-ups, that sounds intense.
They used to do it, push-up, and a lot of different exercise mixed together, like for 2 hours, just going at it.
You know, a funny thing about when was this? This was like 5 years ago. Because I help people pass the ASVAB. I get approached by different people, and one time I was invited. It was to go to like a mock basic training, but it was for teachers in high schools. So it was and I was invited, but I stopped being a teacher in high school to become a teacher for the ASVAB. So then I didn't qualify. I was like, I solicited and everything. They got back to me and they responded like, but you're not a teacher in school anymore. So I was very, very curious. Not saying I'm gonna do it now. This was 5 years ago. I'm old now. I got white hair. Not for me now. But it's always. I did try to join, so I always wanted to join. And I've told you before, I have a condition in the vision, and you always think, what if? I know it's not going to be pleasurable, but it was an experience I tried to have. But oh well. At least all my students talk to me about that. They tell me, hey Fernando, this happened. But it's good that things changed, because a lot of times people are afraid of those things. And now you inform me that it's not just the drill sergeants, you have other personnel around, and that's good to know. So what did you, well, you already answered me. The least thing you liked was the hours. And what would be the most thing you enjoyed? Would be going to the graduations. That's what, yeah.
Just the pleasure of like teaching, mentoring these young and older.
Seeing them get success and you being part of that success. That's great. How important would you say is the drill sergeant position in the Army?
I believe it's the most important position. We are the first phase. that civilians see that turn them into soldiers. So whatever we do is gonna have an impact on their future. Their sergeants, generals, command sergeant majors, they all went to basic training once, and it was that one or two drill sergeants that made that impact in them and make them like want to continue in the army and continue forward.
Have you ever like I think yes, but have you ever seen anybody who went through your basic training and see them then 1 or 2 years after and talked about it, or never? That hasn't.
Yes, I have seen them, and I have seen them being successful. We already with ranks and everything, and I've had good feedback so far. The ones I've seen, it's good feedback.
The ones you've seen all like. Um, so some students who join want to serve X amount of time and then transition to a civilian job. What career path would be similar to having the characteristics of a drill sergeant?
So I feel a lot of people go for security jobs, but the one job that also it's very likable for drill sergeant is teacher. So being a teacher, as drill sergeant, we've been taught to teach and caught the audience. Being able to catch everybody's attention, and we're taught how to do it. So you can do that in the civilian world as well. A lot of places require a bachelor's degree. So if you were smart and completed your bachelor's degree with the Army, paid by the Army, then you will have your bachelor's degree already, and then you can become a teacher somewhere.
What kind of accomplishments does drill sergeant have? Is there any awards you get for good work?
Yes, so we do have like drill sergeant of the cycle. They give that to the drill sergeant from that cycle that did the most work, the accomplishment that got their soldiers to like do great things and compete and win. So the one that gets the more things done, then they get drill sergeant of the cycle.
And how would you say the career path of a drill sergeant, being a drill sergeant, affects your lifestyle?
So in a good way, it affects in the Army when people see that you are a drill sergeant, for anything, promotion wise or out there. For promotion, it's a big plus. So if you have the same career path as your peers, but you're a drill sergeant and they're not, then you're gonna have a couple steps ahead of them for promotion. Out there in the just wearing your uniform anywhere, you see your drill sergeant badge, that's even higher rank respect that because they know what a tough job is to be a drill sergeant.
What advice would you give somebody who's considering this after he joins the military? What advice would you give him?
I will tell them do it. It's an experience that you will not forget. Know that it's gonna be challenging. It's not easy as far as work hours. So if you already know that it's gonna be challenging, you can make the best out of it, and it's gonna change. It's gonna change your future as far as promotion wise. It's gonna set you apart from your peers. So if you're thinking about doing it, I say do it. Not only that, you're gonna be changing a lot of people's life.
Right. And lastly, I would like to ask you what personal goals do you have in the military and life now, whether it is related to drill sergeant or not? Just a little curiosity.
So right now, my short-term goal is to earn. I'm about to go compete in a board to be the recruiter of the quarter for third quarter in my brigade. So that's next week. So my short goal is to win that and win another award from the recruiting, which is the Glenn Morrell Award. And my long-term goal is to become an officer, which I'm working on it about next year. Hopefully, I'll be already an officer. I already took my ASVAB again and scored 120 GT score, so I'm all set. I have my bachelor's degree, and retire with 20 plus active federal service.
Nice, nice. So when you become an officer, you got to do what I do. This is he has his own motto. Let me see how you can say it in English. I'm gonna think. Si tú no te quitas, yo no me quito. So his motto in Spanish is very nice. It rhymes. In English, I don't know if it rhymes, but if you don't quit, I'm not gonna quit. That's his motto. It sounds good in English. I might use it in English too. Very good, very good. I'm gonna give you credit. But when I accomplish something, I do this. My students know it. So when you become an officer, you gotta do it. You gotta send me a video doing it. I wish you luck. Obviously, I also wish you luck with your short-term goal. That is becoming the recruiter of the quarter, if I'm not mistaken. And it's great. It's great. It's always good to keep. Some people just think you get to here. No, you just have to always try to become better and keep. That's the good thing about life. There's so many things to do, so many options. Just try to be your best at everything you do. That would be my advice. I'm not a drill sergeant. I just help people pass the ASVAB. But I do admire everything you do. I do respect you a lot, and that's why I invited you for this conference. And I appreciate your time. Before we go, any other thing you want to talk about? Maybe last advice?
Just do it. I've seen it many times where being a drill sergeant is what make that difference for promotions. It's a rewarding job. All right, and then thank you, Fernando, for having me again. It's always a pleasure.
Great, great. If you don't quit, I don't quit. I like it. I like it a lot. So everybody, if you enjoyed this, very important, please leave a comment, leave a like. If you have any future video ideas, I do look at the comments. I do try to see if I can make something similar to what you guys want to see. If you're my student, I'll see you in class. If you're not my student and you need help passing the ASVAB, my information is going to be in the description. You can text me. I'll send you a video of how I teach. You can see if you like it, and if you like it, then we can clarify how it works, schedule, duration, etc. And we try to get you that 120 that he got. He did not take my classes. I had nothing to do with that. He had a lot of hard work. Nobody who gets 120 does it easy. You got to work hard for your success. Also, I'm going to include Mr. Perez information. He is a recruiter now. Obviously, this video is in 2021. So for the next 1 or 2 years, you guys can text him. After that, I think he's going to be doing other things. Anyways, I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks.